Good morning, dear students. Today we are going to discussing something about 8th standard social science one unit called South India. South India from 3rd century BCE to 13th century CE. From 3rd century BCE to 13th century BCE. See, South India from 3rd century BCE to 13th century CE, not BCE, CE. See, dear students, we are going to learn in this unit or the growth of Shatavahanas in South India, their achievements, administration, art and architecture. And also, we know something about the achievements of Shatakarni, the growth of Shatavahanas. Growth and achievements of Shatavahanas. The growth and achievements of Shatavahanas, and also the achievements of Shatakarni. The achievements of Shatakarni. Achievements of Shatakarni. And also the Kadambas were the first to establish an empire in Karnataka. And also in this unit we are going to learn the establishment of Ganga dynasty, their contributions to art and architecture and literature, and also the locate of areas of Shatavahanas, Kadambas and Gangas in the map of South India. So now I am going to write a map of South India here. Bay of Bengal, Indian Ocean, and Arabian Sea. See, these are all the three oceans covered India in south. Okay. See, the Vindhya mountain separates the north and south India. Vindhya mountains. See, these Vindhya mountains separates India into two equal parts. They are North India and South India. The area between the Vindhya mountains and Kanyakumari in south is called as South India. The area between Vindhya mountain and Kanyakumari. So this is what we call South India. What we call South India. The area between Vindhya mountains and Kanyakumari, that place we call it as South India. And Deccan region. it has another name, that is Deccan region. Deccan region also, or South India. See, the Shatavahanas, Kadambas, Gangas, Chalukyas, Rashtrakutas, Pallavas have been the important dynasties of this region. Shatavahanas, Kadambas, Gangas, Shatavahanas, Gangas, Rashtrakutas, Chalukyas, and Pallavas, Kadambas and Pallavas, Kadambas and Pallavas, all the famous dynasties flourished on the land of South India or Deccan Plateau. See, dear children, first of all, we know something about the famous and well-known dynasty called the Shatavahanas. Now we are going to discussing something about the Shatavahanas. Shatavahanas dynasty. See, dear children, Shatavahana dynasty flourished between 230 BCE to 220 CE. 220 CE. See, this is the time of span of time of Shatavahana's administration in the history of South India. So Shatavahanas ruled between the years of 230 BCE to 220 CE. The Shatavahanas were the first to have established a dynasty in the Deccan. See, dear students, please note this. This is the first dynasty of South India. The first established dynasty in South India. The first established dynasty in South India was the Shatavahanas, and they had been settled themselves in the land between Godavari and Krishna rivers. They had settled the land between Godavari and Krishna river. So they were settled on the lands of Godavari and Krishna rivers. They were the vassals of Chandragupta Maurya and were paying tribute to him in 220 BCE, and Srimukha became independent and made Srikakulam his capital. Raja Srimukha was the founder of Shatavahana dynasty and made Srikakulam his capital. Srikakulam of Andhra Pradesh. who established the Shatavahana dynasty. And later on, Gautami Putra Shatakarni. Gautami Putra Shatakarni. Gautami Putra Shatakarni. See, dear students, Gautami Putra Shatakarni was a prominent king of this dynasty. He was a prominent ruler of this dynasty, and he had done away with the better enemies of kingdom, the Sakas, behind the boundaries of India. Shalivahana Shaka is supposed to have been inaugurated by him. See, he extended his kingdom boundaries to include not only Konkan, Bihar, Saurashtra and Malwa, but also many new areas. He had titles such as Trisamudrattoya Pitavahana. He had a title Trisamudrattoya Pitavahana and Shatavahana, Kula Shastra, and he also Kula Shastra Prashisthana Kara, Kula Shatavahana Kula Pratistapana Kara. These two are the titles of Gautami Putra Shatakarni. See, Yagnashri Shatakarni was the last king of this dynasty. Yagnashri Shatakarni. Yagnashri Shatakarni. Last ruler, last king of the Shatavahana dynasty. And later on, during Yagnashri Shatakarni time, on account of continual attack by Sakas, the empire stood devastated. So during the Shatavahana rule, the king was supreme. During the Shatavahana rule, the king was supreme. And kingdom had been divided into provinces. Kingdom had been divided into several provinces called Janapada. Provinces are called Janapada. See, Shatavahana rulers, their kingdom divided into several provinces called Janapada for the purpose of a smooth and good administration, and also appointed several officers to administration them. The cities and villages were looked after by self-governing institutions. Cities and villages looked by the self-governing institutions. There was no discrimination on the basis of Varna in their society. Even women held high offices and high status in society. There was a people of different occupations like farmers, merchants, goldsmith, fishermen, carpenters, weavers, medicine man, etc. There were occupational associations also. And Later, these associations emerged commercial and trade organizations. There was encouragement for foreign trade, and Nasik, Kalyan, Broj, and Bhatkal were the trading center. Which are the trading centers of Shatavahanas? Nasik, Kalyan, Broj, and Bhatkal of Karnataka were the important business centers or trading centers of Shatavahana dynasties. And the Shatavahanas who followed the Vedic tradition, Shatavahanas who followed Vedic tradition and encourages other religions also, like Buddhism, Jainism, and believed in harmony. They have to maintain good relationships, good supports to other religions also. But Shatavahana rulers followed Vedic traditions and they promoted art and architecture and education, literature, and their literature created by in Prakrit languages and the languages of both scholars and common people. Gata Saptasati, written by Raja Hala, is an example of this. Is a good example of this. Raja Hala, written Gata Saptasati. See, it says that even kings also become a good writers and scholars. Are you understand, dear students? Yes. Even rulers also a scholars and writers. For example, Raja Ala, who written Gata Saptasati. Gata Saptasati in Prakrit language. In Prakrit language. And also the Ajanta and the Amaravati paintings were created during the period of Shatavahanas. Ajanta and Amaravati. Ajanta and Amaravati. Ajanta and Amaravati paintings. Were created by Shatavahana dynasty or Shatavahanas. Even today, where we observe that their parents' paintings on the walls of caves of Ajanta and Amaravati caves. See, later on, temples, viharas, chaityalayas were also constructed by the Shatavahanas. They were constructed temples, chaitalyas, viharas, and also some other temples. See, a chaitalya was built by Karle by the Banavasi merchant Bhutapala. Bhutapala was a merchant of Banavasi who built one beautiful chaitalya at Karle. So, these are all the several examples of their art and architectural contributions. And also, during the period of Shatavahanas, the Kannada land was prosperous. During the Shatavahanas, the Kannada land was very prosperous and had adventurous and able to administrators. They had enriched Indian culture by their contributions. They had enriched our Indian culture, become immortal. See, these are all the several aspects of Shatavahanas. So, the Shatavahanas administrations between the years of 430 BCE to 220 CE. So, this is the first established dynasty in South India. And the Shatavahanas had settled the land between Godavari river and Krishna river. Raja Simukha, who was the establisher of Shatavahana dynasty, and also he made Srikakulam as his capital city. See, and also Raja Alas Gatasaptasati, Ajanta, Amaravati, and Karle Chaitanya, which was built by Banavasi merchant Bhutapala, were the best examples of their art and architecture and also literature and culture of India. See, this is what we call the Shatavahanas. Now we are going to discussing another dynasty, that is the Kadambas. The Kadambas dynasty. The Kadamba dynasty. The Kadamba dynasty, its administration span between 325 CE to 540 CE. 540 CE. See, this is what we call the administration span of the Kadamba dynasty in South India. See, this is the first dynasty to be established in Karnataka. And you got my points, dear students. Karnataka's first dynasty was Kadambas. Kadambas. The Kadamba dynasty was established on the land of Karnataka, so that this is called the first dynasty of Karnataka. And their capital city was Banavasi. Their capital city was Banavasi. Banavasi is the capital city of Kadambas. So today it comes in North Kannada district. Mayura Sharma was the founder of a great king of this dynasty. Mayura Sharma was the founder as well as a great ruler of this dynasty. And Mayura Sharma was insulted by the king Shivaskandavarma of Pallava dynasty of Kranchi. He adopted the Kshatriya way of the life and become Mayura Sharma or Mayura Varma. Mayura Sharma became a Mayura Varma. So he defeated the Pallavas in a war and established the Kadamba Empire. He is the pride of all Kannadigas. He is the pride of all Kannadigas. So according to the Chandravalli inscription at Chitradurga, Mayura Varma is said to have increased the height of the wall of the Chandravati Lake. Chandravati Lake. So the Kadamba made special contributions to Karnataka and Indian culture. There was political unity for around 300 years under the Kadamba rule. Royal priests, ministers and military generals also played a significant role in administration. For administrative purposes, provincial officers had been appointed to look after the provinces. Land revenue was the main source of income of their kingdom. The occupations such as carpentry, goldsmith, goldsmithy, and blacksmiths, weaving, oil extraction, pottery were the main ones in the society. And there was greater encouragement for agriculture and trade. There were great support to the development of agriculture and also trade. Most of the people followed Varnashrama, and greater importance was given to patriarchal and undivided families. Though they were the followers of the Vedic culture, the Kadambas encouraged Jainism, Buddhism. They gave charity to Jain temples and scholars at Anagal, Puligere, and other places, and promoted the spread of Jainism and Buddhism was also flourishing in the Kadamba kingdom. It included Ajanta and Banavasi, two of the important center of Buddhism. The temples were the centers of festival and celebrations. Both Prakrit and Sanskrit received encouragement. The first Prakrit and later Sanskrit became the court language. Kannada was the language of the people. The ancient language of people Kannada. The ancient Halmidi inscription shows the characteristics of Kannada language, which was in use in the 5th century. This has been the first inscription available in Kannada. The Halmidi inscription is the first inscription available in Kannada. So that is our Kannada used by the 5th century itself. So the Malavalli inscription in Prakrit language, the Thalabunda inscription is the first Sanskrit inscription. The first Prakrit inscription is Malavalli inscription, and the first Sanskrit inscription is Thalabunda inscription, and to be found in Karnataka. Malavalli and Thalabunda inscription and Halmidi inscriptions were found in Karnataka. And the Kadambas laid the foundation for architecture in Karnataka. They built many temples and basadis in Banavasi. And during this period, education also developed. For example, their period's education centers are Agraharas and Brahmapuris and Gatikas established. The main Agraharas of that time were found in Thalagunda and Belligari. The Agraharas were like nowadays residential schools. So, Kadambas were love of education, so that they supported so many schools like Agraharas, Brahmapuris and Gatikasanas established. Especially Thalagunda and Belligari are the two major educational centers of Kadambas. Have you got my points, dear students? Yes. I hope that you are all understand all the things about Shatavahanas and Kadambas. So, I stopped here. Remaining things will be discussed on tomorrow's class. Okay, thank you. Thank you, one and all.